Good morning. Good morning. Breakfast time. What have I forgotten? I've forgotten the flax oil is what I've forgotten. Little flax oil on the breakfast. So it's, what is it? 7 minutes past 8. I need to leave the house at, don't know exactly, probably 5 to 9, 10 to 9. Teaching at NYU this morning, and have to be there at like 9:30ish. So yeah, that is the plan. Last night was a crazy rainstorm. I actually had to get up and close my door on my bedroom because it was so loud. It was like keeping me awake. It was a crazy rainstorm. I guess the grass is gonna really like it. But it's nice. So yeah, it's still kind of cloudy day, but bright. It's nice. So anyway, you're getting my 8 o'clock in the morning face. I'm gonna eat breakfast. Oh, it looks so good. And yeah, fun day. And then we got team day today, so that will be something. So I'm out the house with my bag of bones. Springs, umbrellas, sternums. It's warm, it's really warm, it's nice and humid, not so nice. And I'm super excited to be teaching these dances today because so many reasons. I just remember being at dance college and being so frustrated with kind of just working so hard and doing what I was told and yet not progressing like I would want. And I feel like Franklin method, or I know that Franklin method was massive key. And I just want everyone to know about it. So here we go. Here's Bones, Laura, Subway. We're in a stinky elevator. Bleach. Ooh. So NYU happened.
Yeah, it
Chris and Rach were late.
Laura rocked it.
You were very quiet. I was like, hello, can you, hello. You got a little more talkative, and bye. Had some really cool experiences, and some of you really got it and were really into it, so that was really exciting. Oh, thank goodness it's not raining. Oh, yay. That was challenging. And it's so freaking muggy. And I just made this video about fall and the crispness in the air, and now it totally isn't.
Steamer head.
Yes.
It was cool, even in just a New York minute, you can feel it.
Yeah, you can.
It really was. I mean, it's like as much as the many times since I've done that with you, every time is amazing.
I know.
It really is. Yeah. Even just squishing your foot, squishing your Achilles.
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Eric. I was just saying, does anyone hear all the crazy rain last night? It's like someone was pouring like buckets of water. And just tell them, Jess.
Hey guys.
And then show them, Rach.
So Alyssa, I did a little session with Alyssa yesterday, and one of the images that came up, she didn't really tell me what was going on, but enough was that I knew she's in this situation right now. And so anyways, the image was basically just like massive, big bucket of water just like dumping on her and whatever the situation is, and just like big washout. So it's just like funny that that's happening right now.
And I was saying how I was just looking at my human anatomy atlas because I have my period. You know it again. And basically when I get like cramps, I can really feel like exactly pinpoint where my ovaries are. And I was just looking, and they're really directly behind the hip joint, which makes so much sense because while we were doing hip joint in the class today, I was like really going there, and I was like, wow, like I feel kind of both, like, I felt more layers to it all, which is really cool.
So, when did we vlog last? On the train while we're home? Laura did some banding and stuff in there and left that nice mess. Oops.
I like the rebrand.
The rebrand?
Of Hawthorne Valley.
Yes, except it's hard to notice which one's which.
I would agree.
What's going on over here? Melindy's done hers there. Mark is working on the redarts day.
Yes.
So exciting! And yes, and Eva's on her way. So that's the update. And I got sardines, a big pile of lettuce, and that seaweed, cucumber. Oh, I haven't got cucumber. Oh, oops, nearly forgot my favourite. Cucumber. I am in love with these cucumbers, like crazy amounts. They're so crispy. I'm crazy in love. Crazy!
Finally here.
Yay! How are you guys? Good.
It looks really yummy.
Mm-hmm. Eva's getting a preview.
There's a part of Melinda that I really like.
Whipping! This looks cool. I allow myself to fall with the things
Hey guys, just giving you a little update. So we've been plugging away upstairs and we are now coming downstairs to hang out with this big piece of paper that's chilling in Laura's office. So don't know what needs to happen yet, but we're gonna have a team hangout with the paper. And we just had tea and it's really cozy.
It's so cold.
So cold, it just became like so cold.
Yeah, like this morning it felt so hot.
Totally.
Like suddenly just shifted.
And you're asking yourself.
We had a full-on fun, lots of stuff happening today, team meeting, and now Jess, Melinda, and Rachel have left. We are organising. Whoa! And Bill is here.
Hello.
This is Bill. He has been called the water guy for the longest time. I call you the water guy. I probably still will. And he has come over to do a demo with the Kangen water filter, right? The Kangen
machine.
water
Big
filter
filter.
machine.
Right now, there are 60 million water bottles thrown away every day in the U.S.
Oh.
Less than 20% are recycled. So in the Pacific, there's a land mass of plastic that's twice the size of Texas. And
Yeah,
right
it's
now, it can be
hideous.
seen from the coast of California already. So it's something we need to stop doing. I mean, carrying our own bottles isn't that difficult. I'll tell you what the difference is. When it's been in a plastic bottle for like this, it's been in a bottle for 6 months, 12
Yeah,
months
I'm
before
sure.
you get it. So what they've done with the BPA free is they've switched to BPS and BPF, which are equally toxic. They switched one
I'm
molecule out.
sure.
They last in your body longer, but no one knows about it or is making any noise about it
Oh,
because
gosh.
it's just not popular yet. So with this water in this plastic bottle, it was filled 2 hours ago. So there's really not a lot of time for it to sit leaching out all the
Right.
petrochemicals. Man-made chemicals. Right now there are over 100,000 man-made chemicals. Scientific American finds more than 200 chemicals in newborn umbilical cord blood already. So babies are being born toxic. And we know these chemicals, we know the chemicals are causing damage. Stress, so if we're too acidic, that's also corrosive. The blood gets thicker when it's more acidic, it's more crystallized. And dehydration. So they all tie in. They're like, almost like a perfect circle of problem. Otto Warburg proved that cancer cannot live in an oxygenated, sugar-free, alkaline diet environment. He took out the tumors from the animals and in 48 hours they started dying when he took away sugar, acid, and he gave it oxygen. So in 1940 in the US, cancer was 1 in 16. Today it's 1 in 3. Pesticides, by pollution, by chemicals in our water, it's really just an amazing thing that
We're
so
alive.
many people are old Pellegrinos, so it's not highly oxidizing like I thought it would be. It's going down.
So that's good.
Well, it's horrible, but I thought it would be at a 600. It looks like it's going down to about 400, 300 when I watch it.
So it's not as bad.
Well, yeah, the bubbles are out, right? So if I go to, let's say, Poland Spring will drop. Basically, we want to be in the negatives. A negative is an antioxidant. Every time you drink some of this Poland Spring from this bottle, you're oxidizing yourself at about, it's 570 millivolts, so you're blasting yourself in the wrong direction. You're going towards processed foods and things that steal electrons from your body. Aquafina, going up a little bit.
Aquafina is hideous.
Horrible. Now, I'm going to jump to Kangen for a second so you can see the difference. If you watch, it'll go right into the negatives. And fresh out of the machine, we'll hit about a minus 500. So that's why it's always great to drink it as fresh as possible. Brita too, when I test tap water versus Brita, it usually goes up after Brita. So I don't know what Brita is doing. I've read from a study that after you test Brita, there's about a 10% increase in aluminum. So maybe there's some kind of alum in there. And then here's the Kangen again. So you can see it goes right back into the negatives. And this is what we need. We need to neutralize the oxidation that's happening in the world, in our body. Every breath we take, we're bringing in tens of thousands of free radicals that start blasting our cells. So it's an amazing thing when you can take it, because when it's an antioxidant, it's also an anti-inflammatory. It's fairly old Pellegrino, but you can see the color. It's acidic. It's a strong acid. Poland Spring usually tests about neutral, but if you watch it, it changes colors because it's been sucking plastic in, so it starts a little acidic. And then all these plastic bottles have stabilizers and preservatives, so that way it doesn't pick up, it doesn't become bacteria and things like that over the months. But that doesn't have to be listed. Aquafina, slightly acidic there, more than slightly. And this is the filtered water with eye water. Yeah, I don't know where that'll go.
Slightly greener.
Yeah, slightly greener. Give it a moment.
Actually, we should move this bottle.
A little swirl.
That's green, so that's like neutral.
Okay, and this is your fridge water. What's that? Green. Not as green as that, but also green. This is tap water. And then here's the Kangen water.
Well, everyone, what you just did.
So I just rinsed these organic vegetables in.
Do they need to sit in there for like that while?
5 minutes. It's just been in here this whole time.
But if I was to be making salad or something.
Oh yeah,
Can you just rinse them, or do you have to soak them?
No, I always let it soak. Sweet potatoes, I eat a lot of those.
Yeah.
The water turns black.
Really? I eat sweet potatoes all the time.
Well, it's in the ground, right? So it's pulling that in. I'll do sweet potatoes twice. First time the water turns black in about 5 minutes. I'll do it again. Turns like a light gray, and if you leave it in there, you'll actually see bubbles coming out of the skin, like the 11.5 penetrating. It's I don't know, some kind of oil.
Even the organic ones.
Well, that's the only thing.
And it's not just stuff from the vegetables.
Well, no, you can rinse these first, and you'll still get this because this is a very unusual color.
But that just doesn't come out of the vegetables. No. Like it's not vegetable juice.
No. Do you eat tomatoes? Why don't you grab one from the fridge and we'll rinse it and then try this one.
Okay. Waxy and thick.
Maybe even
that is what my greens tasted like this morning. Really thick and like covered in wax.
Yeah. It's very different.
Can I have a good one again?
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So what we're actually doing is the 11.5 water. This is sesame oil, right? This won't work with every oil. Certainly not a motor oil because it's thick. But 11.5 is strong enough to emulsify oil. So basically, it replaces toxic cleaners too. Because if you put it in a spray bottle, you spray it on and it'll just emulsify the oil. So here I'll use some Poland Spring.
I'm like not following. What
okay, well I'll show you. I put some oil in here, which is what pesticides are made of. They're made of oil, so the rain doesn't wash off as easily. So here's some Poland Spring, and what we see is it separates like we'd expect. But here's what the 11.5 Kangen water does. Also non-toxic, and I'm more apt to drink this than I would the 2.5, but our company officially says don't drink it, but if you watch this, you'll see something very different.
Yeah.
So what it's done is it's emulsified the oil.
Is that good?
Well, it's amazing. Yeah, so that's why we can get the pesticides off, but that's why we can replace, a stove cleaner that's poison to breathe with water that's been electrolyzed. So that's.
I knew about this, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, with organic, they're still using pesticides. They just aren't using glyphosate. They aren't using atrazine. They're using something though. They have some cleaner pesticides, but the thing is, if it's grown outdoors, they're getting it from the rain and the air.
So will my garden be covered in pesticides because of all the rain?
Yeah.
Do you breathe it in when you're doing that in the rain?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes,
we
you
just
do.
go live on another
That's why
planet.
we've got it in our blood and in our body.
And we feel the health and vibrancy and imagination. But check it. Look, that
Shake it.
is what came off the sweet potato. The organic sweet potato. It feels nicer.
Looks like.
tasted more like happier to absorb the water.
Yeah. Okay. But now how do you live and not have everyone around you have one?
Well, that's the thing. I share water with a lot of people.
Do you want to say all that? I'm just like, why aren't they doing this stuff?
Yeah, well, I was like, Paul
about
Stamets discovered, he's a mushroom lover. I don't know what his title is. He's got a PhD in a lot of things related to agriculture and mushrooms, and he discovered that mushrooms will absorb all kinds of toxins. You can put them downstream from power plants or agricultural waste companies, and you put it in the water, and as the water passes through, it absorbs all the toxins, and then the mushrooms are still edible.
That's
So
crazy.
his work is amazing.
And it's just like, why don't they do this?
Right, super
Like,
simple.
why?
Well, it goes a step further. So now we know today to remove heavy metals and fluoride from your water. It used to be we'd have to use aluminum silica, which bonds with the fluoride if you want that out of your water, amongst some other things. But I never loved the idea of running the water through aluminum, but to get rid of fluoride, which is actually a toxic waste.
Yeah, totally.
And so now, interestingly, it's been discovered that bone char, animals, crushed up bones that are charred like charcoal, just like if you're near a radiation plant, your bones will absorb radiation. So the bones from these dead animals now will take the radiation and the heavy metals and the fluoride out of the water. And it's just amazing that, what bones can do.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I just think of how they use charcoal with water. I mean, I know it doesn't do a ton.
No, charcoal
Water,
doesn't.
but
It removes things. I mean, even eating charcoal, if you have food poisoning,
Right.
helps. Depending on if you eat it quick enough. But I mean, the idea that bone char can remove radiation from the water, just like a living person in a sense.
So why don't they put that everywhere?
Well, that's a good question too. I mean, I use it. At first I didn't love.
You buy it? Or you
I have it as one of my pre-filters.
Oh, so that's the pre-filter thing.
Mhm.
So they're putting it in filters now.
Yeah.